These days, to say there is unrest in the Magic Kingdom would seem to be an understatement. With the dismissal of one of The Mandalorian's brightest stars, Gina Carano, and the very public disapproval on YouTube of Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, not to mention the company's current financial woes, the House of Mouse appears to more resemble a house of cards. Now, on February 19th, Deadline broke the story in where Gina Carano will tell her side of the story to the Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro. With Carano bouncing back and poised to give in what promises to be a tell-all interview to Shapiro, the tables seem to be turning not only for Carano, but also on Kennedy and the Disney hierarchy. In this video, we will take a look at the Deadline article, how it ties to what we already know given Disney's more recent history, and what it could mean for what looks like is no longer the happiest place on Earth. As previously established in recent videos, Mandalorian star Gina Carano was fired from the series on February 10th after a controversial Instagram post, a post that she later deleted, yet the damage had already been done. 4 days later, it was announced that she had landed an independent movie deal with Ben Shapiro's The Daily Wire to star and produce in their first feature film. The ensuing backlash not only extended to subscribers canceling Disney+, which impacted their stock price the day before their Q1 investor call, but also to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science video featuring a very awkward-looking Kathleen Kennedy staring into a camera and extolling the achievements of women in the film industry, something which on its face seemed ironic, as Kennedy, who has been a proponent of advancing women in film, may have played a role in the firing of one of their most popular female stars. Whereas other women would have faded into the background and gone into hiding, Carano, a former MMA fighter, would take the opportunity to go on the offensive. On February 19th, Deadline ran with the story of Gina Carano giving her first tell-all interview to the Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro. In the teaser to the interview, which drops on the 21st, Carano says, "I've been through so much and I've seen so much, clearly, of the bullying that's been taking place, and I saw it before. I'm not the only one that's ever been bullied by this company, and I know that so deeply." Carano's statement that she is not the only one allegedly bullied by Disney comes no doubt as a surprise, for it was on January 22nd that Disney, via their official Twitter account, tweeted in defense of High Republic show host Christina Ariel that the company does not stand for bullying and racism. It would seem to some that the defense of Ariel and not Carano would come off as disingenuous, as Ariel was the one actually bullying other Twitter users and had a history of racist tweets, while Carano herself was the subject of bullying on social media. Carano also states that she could share a story which would turn the tide in the media. However, it would most likely cost a friend their job. Whom that friend might be, we can only speculate. However, rumors from behind the scenes have suggested that Jon Favreau has gone to bat for Carano, defending her from those in the Disney hierarchy. It should be noted that while Disney brass were nowhere to be found while Carano was under assault by Twitter users, fellow Mandalorian cast member Carl Weathers publicly came to her defense. Carano goes on to say that she felt there were those from within Disney or Lucasfilm that were gunning for her. She says, "You know how boxers headhunt sometimes and forget to go for the body? I feel like Disney or Lucasfilm or whoever it is, just certain people at that company. I feel like I've been being headhunted, and you can feel it. Just a couple of weeks ago, Lucasfilm asked an artist that they employ to erase my character and put a different character in place, and he proudly announces this on Twitter and erases my character and puts another character in place. All the fans of Cara Dune were just outraged. They were like, why didn't you add the character? Why did you have to take off the character? Is there something wrong? Is Gina getting fired?" Carano's reference to her character Cara Dune being painted out of promotional art for The Mandalorian, as well as her reportedly not being asked to participate in a December 10th Investor Day presentation, and the seemingly coordinated Twitter attacks may suggest that for some time, there was a larger effort to oust the Mandalorian star from the series. In previous videos, Midnight's Edge has detailed the alleged power struggle between the Kathleen Kennedy faction and the Jon Favreau faction at Lucasfilm. The removal of Carano may be part of the latest salvo, fired by the Kathleen Kennedy faction in the ongoing Lucasfilm civil war. To further complicate matters, the timing of the Oscar video with a very awkward-looking Kathleen Kennedy would seem to be an indicator that Kennedy is attempting to reassert her control over Lucasfilm. Carano goes on to say that there was an email that she saw that she called enlightening, claiming that she knew there were those at Disney who were paying attention to her, and that some in the company came to her defense, but were ultimately unsuccessful. Carano claims to Shapiro that in Hollywood there is a double standard when it comes to expressing one's political views. Carano says, "They've been all over me and they've been watching me like a hawk. And I'm watching people on the same production and they can say everything they want. And that's where I had a problem. I had a problem because I wasn't going along with the narrative." While some in Hollywood may dismiss this idea, there is some support to this claim. The Hollywood Reporter on February 16th published a piece on the firing of Gina Carano and how it may serve as an inflection point for Disney and Lucasfilm. In the piece, it is claimed that many Hollywood publicists are advising their clients to steer away from anything that may be construed as too overtly right-leaning. The Hollywood Reporter quotes crisis PR rep Judah Engelmeyer, who says, "I don't know what people at Disney personally believe or don't believe with regard to politics, but as a corporate entity, they want to stay as trouble-free as possible. And anything that is going to offend the left is a problem. I have clients who are making an extraordinary effort to post what the social left wants to see." The admission of Engelmeyer that at least on a corporate level, Disney would want to steer clear of anything that may be problematic would seem, at least on the surface, to be selective. Disney recently thanked in the credits of their film Mulan government bodies in the Chinese province of Xinjiang, where detention camps are located. The credits also thank the publicity department of CPC Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomy Region Committee, the agency that produces state propaganda, as well as the Public Security Bureau of Turpan, where more than a dozen camps are located. This would not be the only thing associated with Mulan that Disney would turn a blind eye to. Mulan star Liu Yifei would find herself in the midst of controversy as the actress would show support for Hong Kong police during crackdowns on pro-democracy protests. Liu, who is a naturalized citizen of the United States, posted a viral police comment on Weibo, the Chinese social media site. It would seem that when it comes to benefiting from Chinese audiences and Chinese money, Disney would be more than willing to overlook some things that are much worse than what in the end would be an innocuous social media post. Carano in the end states that she was actually prepared to be fired. "I was prepared at any point to be let go because I've seen this happen to so many people. I've seen the looks on their faces. I've seen the bullying that takes place, and so when this started, they point their guns at you, and you know it's only a matter of time. I've seen it happen to so many people, and I thought to myself, you're coming for me, I know you are. They're making it very obvious through their employees who were coming for me, and so I was like, I'm going to go down swinging, and I'm going to stay true to myself." For the former MMA fighter, it would seem that she brings the steely resolve she had in the ring to other aspects of her life, including her acting career. Although many will most likely scoff at the idea of Carano and Shapiro's first feature film, with the barrier to entry for movie making removed by way of technology and through things like crowdfunding, internet distribution, and social media, the process of movie making has now been democratized. Perhaps Carano's movie will be a hit, perhaps it won't. That's still uncertain. However, what's more important is that Carano is opening the door for others to walk through. And much like in other artistic movements in the past, once that door is opened even just a crack, it isn't long before someone else comes along and kicks it down completely. Let us know your thoughts on Gina Carano and her newest film endeavor in the comments.